David and Junie, it is with such a pleasure to be able to have this moment in time to interview the two of you for your contribution in the Imaginist fairy tales, fables, and folklore. And your story is kind of a fairy tale in a special sort of way. So let's have this conversation because the name of your chapter is Just Supposing. So let's talk about that. And we're celebrating this day also because you share, I mean, my goodness, look at all the things that you've gone through, and you're cancer free, and I can't even imagine the joy that you're feeling, and look how beautiful you are, and the smile on you guys' face that is just amazing. So
we're so happy because just 5 months after we got married, I was diagnosed with an inoperable rare form of cancer, and it did not look good. And today we got the news that everything looks normal.
It's clear.
Are you going out celebrating tonight?
David's going to the studio to record more music.
That was already pre-booked, but
yeah. Well, we've been celebrating from the moment we heard the news.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm so delighted for you. So
Thank
your
you so
contribution, there's a quote that you made, Junie, in your chapter. It says, your soul meets you on the page and something shifts. You begin to stand taller, and then one day you notice that your voice on the page becomes your voice in the world. So I would love to just talk to you two about how you came together, how you met, and what this journey has been like for you, and why you decided to have a chapter in this book.
Well, we were just, I mean, I was blown away because Sharon invited me and David to share our love story for this book, and it came as a total surprise, and we're just so grateful because any chance to talk about good news these days is good news.
It is very good news. Yes.
Yeah, and so just supposing that was
that runs through the theme of our meeting and getting together. And it was a poem that Junie wrote for her musical. And
initially,
yeah.
Yes.
And I wrote the music for that piece of writing for the musical. And she took it back and said, no, I'm not putting that in the musical. And I said, well, I've already written the music for it and it's brilliant.
And I said, too bad. It's too personal. I give it back. It ain't going in there.
Yeah.
And he goes, fine.
Oh, okay.
Fine.
You're the boss.
I know, yeah.
Well, you know, that's
her musical. It's further decided. You know.
And well, that musical was sitting in a drawer for 40 years, literally. And we're hoping to produce it hopefully this coming spring. But when we met, and David, and we talked about the musical, and he's a musician, and he said, well, I'd like to write some music to your lyrics. And I said, oh, sure. And he just took a bunch away. And then I realized he took that one. And I've had some fun with musicians before. And I thought, I don't want this very personal, beautiful love song, which is really a proposal, to be in the musical. That one I'm saving, I don't know what for. Maybe one day I'll get to have it in real life. I don't know. And he didn't know why I was keeping it. I just said, no, it's too personal, even though it was perfect for the scene. And somehow I just wanted it. And then, 4 or 5 months later, I used it to propose to him.
There we were on the beach on Salt Spring Island. And she pulled it out and started to read it to me. And I'm thinking, well, she's just reading me the poem. Well, why is she doing that? You know, I know that poem, right? I wrote the music for it. But at the very end, she said, will you marry me? Wait a minute. And I said, yes.
That's beautiful. And is this song something we can put in the book as a link to it?
It hasn't come out yet in terms of a recorded song.
Okay.
So not quite yet. but hopefully soon, hopefully once it's produced, yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
So
David didn't deter him at all, by the way. He just went out and wrote another one for
Well,
me.
yeah, I just wanted to mention that when that was shelved, I let go of it completely. It's not my business, really, you know. But I wrote a love song for Junie,
This is fine. And then
which
he
is a
shows up at-
beautiful, one of my best love songs ever. Because
Oh,
I write love songs, ballads, rock songs, reggae, blues, you know. But it's the one. It's the one.
worked for
And
me.
it's called "Is This a Dream?"
Aw, is this a dream? And I see it right here on the page on my screen.
Yes.
Just beautiful. You know that that's such a celebration because Junie, this is your first marriage, isn't it? Yes.
It is, I have to admit, it is. So for us to meet and find true love at this stage of the game, and it
70 years old, you don't expect to find true love, you know?
No,
Right.
you know, our anthologist Sharon Jordan, she's turning 75 the day after the book launch, and she just got married last
I
week.
Awesome.
know,
Yeah.
I know, I know. Yeah, another, never say never. Never say
Yeah.
never, that's for sure.
I
But for
call
me,
her my flutter baby because she's just so
yeah, she's like a little fairy.
Yeah, she is. Yes.
So perfect. No, it's true. I never thought I was going to get married. It wasn't really an issue. I always had my running shoes on. I didn't really know how to do any of that stuff. So, but you know, when you meet somebody and you just kind of know, it's just, it feels right. And then COVID happened right after we met. And people, you know, we were kind of thrown into either you want to be alone or you want to be in a bubble with someone. And so we chose to be in the
We
bubble.
thought we'd take that chance. You know, we'd only been together for what, 3 months or something.
3 or 4 months.
Shutdown happened. We're both living, you know, solo. And then we said, well, we can either do this together. We don't know how long it's going to be. So we can either do it together or stay separate. And we decided to try it together.
So I have to admit, we fast tracked the honeymoon stage.
Guilty.
Guilty as charged.
Oh, so that's what you're really like.
It's so beautiful. Well,
Well, we
so-
lucked out. We lucked out, Becky, and we found out that we were meant to be together.
You were, you know, it's when you know it's sweet meant to be, that's just how it is. Yeah.
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 Our biggest fight is who got the better deal.
And that's a fun one.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
We arm wrestle about that.
yeah. He's given up now. He knows he'll never win.
So with this chapter, what would you, David, hope that somebody that reads your chapter about just supposing, what would you hope that they got from it?
If somebody read that story,
Yeah, the story that's in this book.
yeah. Well, I just hope that it would be inspiring for perhaps people of older years who might think that there's no chance for them again, you know, and that go to that party. Neither of us were going to go to that music party,
Which is where
that
we
night
met, yeah.
where we met. So my advice is go to the party
Go to the
and be
party.
open to the possibility. Yeah.
Awesome. And for you, Junie?
Pretty similar. I just think that it is a matter of being open, and because I was pretty guarded and had a lot of armor around me, and which is also a very, since we're talking about fairy tales, fables, magic, and everything, this is a pretty magical story that isn't included in the book. Is that David lost his daughter.
I was previously married and divorced, had a beautiful daughter, and at 26 years old, she was killed in a car accident before I met Junie.
And so when David met me, a couple of days later, when we saw each other again, he brought me a picture of, her name's Kat. He brought me a picture of Kat, and I thought, wow. And he left it with me. I want you to have this. And I just thought that was very strange. Like, why is he showing me this picture and wanting me to do, what do I do with it? I mean, I didn't know him very well. And so where we were living before, where I was living, and David was living there with us, us, the birds. I have a place, there was a loft where I would meditate and do my writing. And I had pictures of people
Jesus and Buddha.
and just inspirational people that I had there, and I put Kat's picture on the wall there, so I didn't know where else I'd want to put it, in a book or something, so I just had it there. And one day I was writing about David and my feelings and stuff like that, and suddenly the writing changed, and it wasn't me at all. And it was Kat came through me, and she said, "It's time to put down your armor. Nobody will love you like my father." And I'm writing this. I'm thinking, what is going on?
Where's
and I
that
got
coming
this chills, and I didn't even tell David for a while. And when I finally had the courage to, and I read what I wrote, he said
It
that's
sounds like Catherine. Yeah.
that's her
baby
voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh.
talk about
That's magic.
Can I just mention one thing about that? After Catherine died, she came back from what she called the afterlife to pass us messages. She came to me, she came to her mum, and she came to her best friend. And then she came to Junie to say that. There's no doubt in my mind.
She has your back, doesn't she?
I'm
she
sorry?
moves about.
She has your back. She loves you.
Yeah, totally.
Oh,
Totally.
yeah.
She was very special. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, what a precious privilege to be able to hear not only the good news, but to share this joy with you. And I know, Junie, you had invited me to your wedding. There were just, many miles to go to get there, and I could not do it.
I know.
I was there in spirit with you. And
oh my God, you sure were. Oh my God, we brought you with us. And so, yeah, when I think about what would I want people to get out of our story is to just never say never, and to be open to love, in the most miraculous ways, because neither one of us wanted to go to that party.
No.
We had no interest in it. And then David just went, oh, what the hell, I'm not doing anything anyway, later that evening. And me, I was dug in, man. I was sitting there, I had a big bowl of popcorn ready to watch a movie, and I just kept getting to go to the party, shut up, go to the party. I consulted my pendulum, and it was like going off take it off, man. Fine. And that's where I met him.
That's where we met. And interestingly enough, because neither of us were planning to go to the party, usually when I go to Edward's music parties, I take my guitar and play music with the gang. That's what it's all about. But I didn't this time. I just took my drum. I thought I'll just be behind the players, just hanging out. And we didn't actually meet at the party. I was coming back in to get my drum to get in the car and leave, and she was coming out to leave the party. And we met at the door at 1:30 in the morning.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, I mean, the angels were saying, come on, you two, come on.
And the reason I think the angels might have been saying that is because when we look back at our life, there are so many places and we've lived at the same time, and our places we've been to, that we were just, it's like
past each other in the hallway in London, Salt Spring, Victoria, Vancouver, Toronto.
All these different places that we were living in at the same time, and that was just didn't happen. And here it is, 1:30 in the morning. I go to bed at 10. I'm walking out the door. He's walking up the steps, and he says, "Oh, you're not leaving, are you?"
Yeah.
And I, well, yeah. He said, well, then he introduces himself. Hi, I'm David. And I said, hello, David, I'm Junie. And then he asked me the stupidest question in the world. What did he ask
Come,
me?
guys. What do you do, Junie?
And I went, what do
You
you
mean
what
what
do
I
you in the
do?
what do
morning?
I do? What do I do about what? Then he said,
What do you do about everything?
anyway, he said it with such sincerity, it just kind of, I just went, really? No, I can't tell you everything, but walk me to my car, I'll tell you a few things. And so it was just, wow, it was just like
Awesome.
that.
What a
And
time.
again, it was like, I mean, the timing, I'm walking
Yeah.
out, he's walking
10
in.
seconds later, we wouldn't have met at that door. you
And they're
know?
saying, come on, you two, now.
Yeah, that's what we got. The angels saying, come on. How many times have we got to bring you two together?
He said he noticed me at the party quite a lot. And I said, well, why didn't you say hello? And he said,
And I said, oh, I didn't come to the party to pick up a girl.
and I go,
And she said, well, saying hello to a girl is not the same as picking up a girl. And I said, yes, it is. That's a guy thing, you know.
oh my God.
It's truly a guy thing.
And
Awesome.
we've
What
been
a fun
having
time.
fun ever since.
So delightful to share this time together, and grateful, very grateful to read this, to listen to this story, celebrate with you on this wonderful day, and this beautiful story. And so
Thank
thank you for
Thank
this.
you,
you,
Becky,
Becky.
for including us.
Amazing.
yeah,
It's totally
great.
amazing.
Yeah,
So
thank you, Sharon.
I will keep posted with you to see how things are progressing, and this video will be on YouTube, then created into a QR code, will go into the book.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much.
And nice to meet you finally, David.
Yes.
We kind of met, off and on
We
throughout.
kind of met online.
Yes, but
Here and there, as you've been
this is a
publishing books of mine.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
enjoy the
All
rest
right.
of your day and count yourself blessed.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Becky.
you.
All right.
Have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Great.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye-bye.